Hello everyone. In this video I will be building weapons for these three Mandalorian characters. I will also be working on the minifigures themselves to add a little more detail to their character. For the minifigures, there's not much difference from how LEGO originally made them, just a few things I added. I will put all the part numbers in the description of all the parts I used. I will begin with Din Djarin and his weapons. Basically, this is the how it comes from the box minus the jetpack. Everything else is the same, and I wanted to keep it this way just because I think Lego did a great job with his armor, just the print, everything, and also the helmet. In my opinion, the pearl dark gray looks a little better, but I didn't go for it just because it wouldn't match with the rest of the armor from the torso, arms, and legs. So I think the silver would look a little better than the pearl dark. So I decided to keep it like this. So the only two things that I did here was add a cape, and I went with black just because I think it looks better than the dark gray. So that's what I will be putting on, as well as this piece, this backpack, and I don't know the correct name, and this stud right here. And something else I wanted to do was also hide the back of his head and neck, as well as in the front. And this is where the modification warning comes in, where I use this piece, and this perfectly does the job, where it hides the front and back side. But the only problem is this part hits with the helmet. So what I did is remove this, and here's where I cut it off right here. I don't know how well that captures it, but that by removing that, I'm able to put the helmet on all the way. So, and with this piece right here, I'm able to remove without having to swap out the head for the black one. And so depending on how I want to display my minifigure, I'm able to just remove the helmet. So I'll be building this right now. So yeah, I just thought the black cape looked much better than the dark gray one. And so I add this stud for where this is where the weapon will be mounted. I just put this on. I just wish Lego should make this piece without without the thing right here, without the scuba part, for better details for other minifigures. This is the minifigure without the helmet. And then if I just add the helmet, it just fits just right. And as you can see, it hides it pretty good. The back, it does as well. If you angle it, you can still kind of see his skin tone, but that's fine. It in my opinion, it looks a lot better than before, where it just hides the neck and the back of the head. But yeah, that's the minifigure complete. So now for the weapon, and I did 8 versions of this. Correction, I did 7, not 8. So for the first 3, this is where the mod warning comes in. This is a one of 2 pieces that will be modified. This is a musket, just cut from right here. And the second piece is this one. And basically it gets cut from right here. And it turns to these 2 pieces. This design, the first 3, is based off of a image I saw when I was searching for Din Djarin's blaster, the real one, just to see what it would look like and what Lego pieces that I would need to build it. As I was scrolling, I came across someone's picture that they posted of one that they already made out of Lego, and I thought it was pretty cool looking. That inspired the first three, and that's where I got the idea to cutting the musket. And here's a screenshot of what I saw, and it linked to a user in Reddit. So that's where I saw it and I got inspiration from. But anyways, the rest of the pieces are this, and it's very basic. So the first one, and it's my favorite, it's these two put together like that, and then put on the binoculars, and then clip like that. So that's the first one. The second one, it's pretty much the same thing minus this piece. It'll be a little bit shorter. I like this one just because it's more accurate to kind of almost his size. The real one is roughly the same height as the Mandalorian, but in terms of aesthetics, the first one's better when Din Djarin's carrying it on his back. Anyway, so this is the second, and the third is basically is the same. The only thing that changes is the hilt at the end. And so that's the third. The fourth version, they're all pretty simple to build. It looks like that. I just think these look a little less accurate to the real one. And I did forget to mention with this kind, I know the real one, the scope is angled to the side like that. So this is what's nice about this as well, rather than these ones. So for the fifth version, these are the pieces that I used. This one's very long and bulky, but I would say it's also fairly accurate to the real one. For the sixth version, these are the pieces that I used. And this one's the second biggest out of all of them. Now, unfortunately, I wasn't able to find a way to put on a scope without it getting too bulky. So for now, I left it like this till I can find a piece that'll go well here without it looking too bulky on it. And for the seventh version, these are the pieces that I used. And this is the biggest out of all of them. And so here's a comparison right next to the minifigure where it's super tall. So I still think these look good, but the first three that I showed I think look the best just because of minifigure scale, or it looks better on the minifigure than the other long ones. For the next figure, it will be Boba Fett, and as you can see, it's pretty much the same. It's actually just the same as how it comes out of the box Again, the only difference is just two things. In this case, the rangefinder, and this is the new one. I really like the new rangefinder. I think it loads better than the original one or the previous design. This one has more detail and it still has that Lego design to it. And so I wanted to do this one instead of the previous design. So I changed that, and then the cape right here on the side. Now I know the original Boba Fett cape or cloth is very expensive, so I don't think it's worth buying it. So this one I got from the Cape Cantina, and I actually think this is better than the one Lego makes. It has a more detail. The and it's got like if it's aged, and so that's what I put on. And in my opinion, I think it looks a lot better like this. And so those are the only two things I did with the minifigure. So for the weapon, there's I made two versions of his main weapon, and again for the first version, it requires the modified musket, and then binoculars, and then this candle piece, and it looks like this. And I actually think it looks a lot better than what Lego offers. It's just that the only thing it requires this modified musket. And I think it looks pretty accurate to the real one, the live action one. And the only reason why I guess I won't display this is because it's really hard for me to attach it anywhere on the minifigure. I'll have to figure out a way, unless I remove the jetpack and get him like one of these like Din Djarin. But other than that, I mean, he's most of the time carrying his jetpack, so I just leave it like that. So I'll probably just do him holding it. The second version, I like that you can store it in his jetpack, and these are the pieces that are required. A hilt. This piece, I don't know what it's called, and also this one. This one's a lot more bulkier and less accurate to the real one, but I still think it's pretty good to or close enough to the original. And this is what I was talking about. So back here it can hold it like so. It's not a very strong hold, but it'll, as you can see, it'll hold it behind him like that. And that's something I can't do with the first one. But anyways, those are the two blasters I made for Boba Fett. And then the last one is super simple. I wouldn't even call it a modified, and it's Bo-Katan. And as you can see, it's the same thing with the rangefinder. It's the new one, and I think it looks a lot better than the previous design. Again, this minifigure, basically these three minifigures are probably the best, or one of the best Lego has done, that don't really require any changes or modifications to the arms or legs. And so most of them I kept the same with a few minor changes. In this case, for this one, just the rangefinder. And then this one was really hard, so it's not even anything crazy for for her weapons, and it's just this pistol and this Technic link, and I just put them on like that, and she can just I only made one, but technically she has two. And then the same thing. The nice thing about these, they can just be stored in the back like so. The only downside, it's not a very strong hold. But again, since these aren't, if these are just displayed, they're not going anywhere. The other one, the other weapons I wanted to make for her is wanted to use the ones that she comes with, the double pistol. If you Google her blasters, they have kind of a angle look to it. And so I wanted to use this hand. Technically it would require a modification and then just chop this thing off, the end of the hand, and it would look something like that. So I think that would make it look a lot more accurate than just having this. So I think I'm gonna do that, just not in this video, but just for me to when I display her minifigure. And so I think this looks pretty good. So I guess this is another mod warning that I'm gonna be doing. And so I think that looks pretty good and accurate to the real ones. Anyways, that's pretty much all the modifications I did to Din Djarin, Boba Fett, and Bo-Katan, and as well as their weapons. I hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.